Hello world, hello Australia, Jamie here to Crypto Koala. Now today guys, I've got Jo Oxborrow. She's the Global Marketing Officer at the Dolla Project. Good to have you here today, Jo. I can see you've got the Dolla wallpaper in the background and...
I do, yes. Thank you for having me, Jamie. It's great to be here.
Now, I understand that Jo is an Australian. She's over in Canada at the moment working for the Dolla Project, which is very exciting. So, Jo, tell us about yourself and tell us about the Dolla team.
Sure, absolutely, Jamie. Well, myself, I personally have a marketing background, predominantly for investment service companies in Australia. I've also got a banking background, both in business and personal, as well as having run a few businesses of my own. So I'm well aware of the startup process and how it all works and what's involved to get a business off the ground. Our team, or our CEO, is Andreas Holmes. He's also an Australian and a serial entrepreneur, I suppose you would say. Has had quite a diverse array of businesses, a lot of web-based businesses. Sorry about that. A lot of web-based businesses, tech-based businesses, and various other things, and been very successful in his field. Very astute with SEO and other things, and has sold websites for, in the seven figures, so to speak, in the past. We've also got a particularly strong tech team, which we'll talk about later. And our chief legal officer, Parry Stenton, is based in the US. And he's very experienced in applying for financial transmitters licenses and getting SEC approval for. He's worked on quite a few cryptocurrency projects, so he's probably the leader in his field as far as that goes in compliance with cryptocurrency in the US.
Oh, great stuff. I noticed on your team as well that you've got some Australian marketers, additional Australian marketers. I'm just going to mention Corey Billington from Latitude Services. And I understand you've got FP Complete as well to assist you with developing the project.
Yeah, that's correct. Yes, Corey from Latitude Services is definitely helping in our marketing department. He's also very experienced in his field. I think he's been involved with cryptocurrency for a couple of years now. We have actually quite a strong team and diverse as far as globally distributed. We've got representatives who are ambassadors for Dolla all over the world. So that's really great to have. FP Complete, we've been great to have on board as part of the development team. They're the leaders in their field as far as Haskell engineering goes. They've worked on numerous cryptocurrency projects such as Cardano, and they continue to work on theirs as well. And we've got an exclusive 3-person team from FP Complete working on our project.
That's wonderful. Just Cardano, and you're saying about how that sort of team, having that sort of team on board to develop your application and wallet and platform and able to implement what you're looking to achieve is really good. Now I understand is that also they've got range of skills in blockchain technology, so which is going to be really useful to the project. So
yeah, absolutely.
So tell us a bit about the actual Dolla project, Jo.
Sure. So basically Dolla has been in development for almost 2 years. The research started with Andreas, who sort of looked at various different projects and existing cryptocurrencies and obviously fiat-based systems, and tried to figure out why cryptocurrency hadn't really been adopted on a global scale as a payment system. The technology's there, you know, the benefits are clearly there, but where the downfalls were in the leaders in the market and how we could improve or solve those problems that they were facing. So we've developed our own blockchain from scratch with our engineers, and we've been able to solve the problems that existing cryptocurrencies have, as well as, you know, provide additional benefits to fiat-based systems. So our transaction speed, for instance, is we're able to put through 10,000 transactions per second, as opposed to, say, something like Bitcoin, which is only, you know, on average about 6 transactions per second. So we've got the scalability there to really be a real payment platform on a global scale. We're also very, very fast. Our transactions are final in 1 second, which means they can't be rolled back. You're not waiting around for confirmation, etc., etc. And our cost is also a benefit to all our users at only 1 cent per transaction.
Oh, interesting. So how come you're actually using your own blockchain, and what are the benefits of using your own blockchain?
I guess it comes, you know, similar to what we were talking about before, is it really needed to be built to solve the problems that existing cryptocurrencies were facing. They weren't fast enough, they weren't scalable enough to be able to be used on a global scale for mass adoption. You know, you look at Visa, for instance, if you know, that claims to be able to transact approximately 50,000 transactions per second. However, in reality, on average, it only does about 1,400. So if Bitcoin or another currency were to grow to that level, they just don't have the capability to do it. So a new blockchain really needed to be created for mass adoption.
Well, I guess if you launched off Ethereum, just how it is at the moment with their scalability issues and the cost of gas, I can't see how you can achieve that cheap rate and also achieve the speeds. Now, maybe in the future with their solutions, like with Plasma and with Sharding, they may get faster, but it might take some time for them to implement that sort of scalability solutions. Same with Bitcoin and the Lightning Network. It's soon coming, but I guess it's sad. You guys, that most probably, in my eyes, kind of justify why you're using your own blockchain instead of launching off a platform.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And clearly, as you mentioned, the cost is a big factor. Being able to provide transactions to users at only 1 cent is a huge benefit, both for consumers and businesses alike.
Yeah, for sure. So just thinking of traditional money transfers or fiat transfers, how do you guys think you're better than, say, Swift, for example?
Very much faster. For a start, our transactions are instant. So there's no waiting around. You know, I know from personal experience in traveling and things like that, when I'm needing to transfer money from, say, my Australian bank account to my Canadian bank account, etc., it can literally take days, you know, for that process to happen, you know, and it makes accessing your funds, you know, quite difficult at times. So the beauty of Dollar is that it's instant. The moment you transfer it, 1 second later, it's wherever you've sent it. It hits its destination in that time. So that's a huge benefit, clearly.
Definitely, I can relate to you there with being overseas because I've got my family over in the UK, and mum sending over, or relatives sending money over to Australia for Christmas presents for my kids, and vice versa. And I normally got to wait. I've got, you know, there is a waiting period, so having the transactional speed is really beneficial. So Joe, tell us about the actual DLA token. So that's the ticker for
Correct.
the Dollar Token. So how is it used? What's its use case?
We've designed Dolla so it's a payment token. It's designed for everyday use. So through our network or our growing community, we've got over 1,000 merchants that have already registered to take Dolla as a payment within their business. We've got 18,000 consumers who are ready to start spending. And also freelancers, which is obviously a huge market as well for transferring money overseas, and their existing ways or methods to transfer money through Western Union or PayPal and things like that, again, are very expensive and very slow. So we've also got quite a large freelancer base who are also ready to use Dolla as their preferred payment option. So yeah, Dolla's really designed to be used every day. Buy your morning coffee, book your airline ticket, send money overseas, whatever it is you want to do, that's what it's designed for. You've got peace of mind that the transaction's instant, that it's final, and that it can handle as many transactions as we're able to use.
I'm finding at the moment people buying tokens, and they're buying them for the store of value. So people get involved at an ICO, they get bags of tokens so they can basically trade them on exchanges and make a quick flip, or they use them for a store of value. So the actual DLA token, how attractive is it, to be used for its use case? We'd be able to emphasize a little bit more. I know you've already mentioned about its actual use case. We'll be able to just emphasize a little bit more on that, Joe?
Yeah, sure. I mean, I just clarifying, you mean as far as people storing it or as far as they're using it goes?
Yeah, look, how attractive it is as an actual used for its utility purpose. So, so people actually purchasing through your ICO, purchasing these tokens for the actual use case for using its tokens. To say, for instance, like buying goods or the advantages of having this token.
Yeah, absolutely. Look, someone asked me a question the other day in regard to, if you expect the value of Dolla to go up, then what's the incentive for people to spend it, and being that spending it is what it's designed for. And the response is simply, you use it the same way you would use your fiat currency. So if you want to save, if you're saving for something or saving value in your fiat, you put that amount that you can afford away for saving. And you spend what you can spend. And by spending Dolla and getting that network flowing and that market happening and active, essentially that bit that you've put aside is going to be worth more anyway.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So to understand that what you spend is also increasing the value of what you save is a good way of looking at it.
Yeah, definitely. And just having it as, you've got a bag of the Dollar Token, and come that time, Christmas time, and you want to transfer money overseas, it's a lot easier to do than just trying to send over dollars to pounds and things like that. So
yeah, absolutely. And there's a lot of use cases that that we could use as examples. For instance, businesses is a huge thing. The amount of fees, personally having had businesses myself, the amount of fees that you pay to simply have that facility to take credit card payments or debit card payments is huge. You're looking at an average of 2.3%. That gets taken out of your profit margin to pay those fees. And statistics show that 80% of consumers pay with cards these days. So that's a massive amount on your turnover that you're paying in fees. If you can even take half of that amount and take away those fees, that's a lot of extra pocket money, extra cash, extra, liquid finance that you have in your business to grow the business, to go on holiday if you want to. But at the end of the day, it goes back in the business owner's pocket, which is obviously quite a big benefit. In addition to that, you've also got no fear of those chargebacks that people get hit with all the time and really are powerless to do anything about them.
Yeah, I understand as well. It's not just you've got the advantages of being a peer-to-peer, a money transfer system for person to person, so the average day person, so the retailers, and then business to business as well. So you've got that sort of multiple levels. Where I see is you've got money transfers for the institutions, but then you've got Scotland for the everyday person. So you've sort of got that different tiers.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
So if someone wants to get involved in your project, wants to get hold of some Dolla tokens, can you tell us about the ICO?
Yeah, sure. So we're currently in private sale phase at the moment. So people can purchase the Dolla tokens now by going on our website and clicking through, following the links to purchase. The ICO begins the 1st of February next year and will run through to the 30th of March. So if you did want to purchase the tokens, now is clearly a better time. $1 you'll get $750 tokens. In the ICO phase, $1 you'll get $500 tokens. So it's definitely a better time to buy now, but
so I understand there's a KYC element as well, and you're being compliant because we're being in Canada as well. You're sort of a neighbour to the US. So can you tell us a bit more about that, about being compliant and what regulation you follow?
Yeah, absolutely. We are vigilant as far as compliance goes. You just can't afford not to be these days. And we obviously didn't want to cut the US out of the market at all. There's too much demand for it, within the country there. So being SEC compliant is a high priority for us. So we've followed all the regulations and guidelines there to be able to obtain that compliance. We fall under what's called a Reg D, which means the US can certainly get involved, but they do need to be accredited investors to be able to, be involved with the Dolla tokens.
Okay. So say with the funds that you do raise from your ICO, how is that getting spent on, say, your milestones in your road, how is the funds being spent on the milestones for the future of your project?
Sure. So we've got quite a large ecosystem that we're developing in order to make adoption easy. And obviously cover all those necessary bases that you need to have an efficient payment platform, and also, fill a few gaps in the market that really haven't been addressed yet by cryptocurrencies. So we're developing our own exchange built in the same advanced programming language, Haskell, which is ultra secure. And that's obviously, as we've seen through the downfall of some exchanges, security has been an issue. We are developing our merchant payment platform, or we will be launching with a minimal viable product, which is our wallet. It's already been tested. It will be ready to go at the same time that our tokens are distributed. But that merchant payment platform will be developed further, so it's more business friendly, so it'll have additional features. We'll look at integrating, with your big accounting software and point of sale products for ease of use for businesses. We have a direct debit facility, or will have a direct debit facility so to speak, based on smart contracts. So things like gym memberships and rental payments and things like that that are recurring debits will be able to be done through the Dolla Token also. We also have your e-commerce plugins, so all your online stores and things like that. We'll be developing plugins for all of those, you know, sites, you know, Shopify and things like that that people use. So the transaction process and the checkout process will be extremely simple through Dolla also. And another feature will be, or another development we're doing, is what we call delay pay. So it'll be an instant online or in-store purchase through whichever merchant you choose that comes on board with us. And then you'll pay your first installment with Dolla, and then the next 3 installments, again built on a smart contract, will come out in fortnightly installments. So very small lines of credit, but designed only for purchasing. So that'll really increase our millennial user base, as it's very popular with the millennials. And also our merchants that take on this facility will also obviously increase their trade, because it is a very successful business method.
Oh, wonderful. I just like the sound of when you're saying about debits and smart contracts, it just makes me think of smart contracts being the new direct debit system. And it's just, you know, blockchain advancing direct debits and smart contracts getting involved with that. So what is the overall vision? What's your overall goal of Dolla?
The overall goal is huge. It's essentially to have Dolla as a payment or a currency on a global scale, to implement everything that's necessary for mass adoption, for ease of use, and all of those things that to fill in all those gaps and solve all those problems that cryptocurrencies or fiat are facing today. So, you know, obviously to make things cheaper for people, more money in their pocket, to make things quicker for people, so it's more accessible and convenient. And so we've thought about all of those things, and Dolla is designed to be that payment solution. So, you know, with our marketing and our branding, we've got some great strategies in place. So when you think about making a payment, whether it be in store, whether it be sending money overseas, whether it be paying your staff, whatever it may be, you'll instantly think, well, Dolla's going to be the easiest way. Let's do it that way.
Oh, great, Joe. So a Dolla gets adopted. And guys, I just like to say that just in all my videos, make sure you do your own research. You can request from the team to look at the coding on GitHub. I just provide a platform for projects to share, to just provide for you guys to check out for yourselves. Now, Joe, thank you so much for your time. It's been wonderful talking to you. And have a Merry Christmas.
Thank you, Jamie. It's been a pleasure. And you have a very Merry Christmas too.
Hey, see you later. Bye.
Thanks. Bye.